Pokémon Horizons episode 81 just aired, featuring the big battle between our heroes and Lucius's Gouging Fire, and this episode was insane, genuinely so impressive. But dude, I have to be honest, something else was just announced too regarding Pokémon Horizons, and it is so huge and shocking that I urgently need to talk about it in this video too. So first, let's review the episode, and then let's discuss the brand new news that will have everyone talking. Is Pokémon Horizons really ending already? Let's see. Episode 81 began with our heroes in Area 0 arriving where Entei was spotted. They catch up with Briar about the Crystal Pool and they theorize that Lucius's Entei must have came to Area 0 after Lucius's sacrifice, and Coral and Sidian are still spying on them. Then almost immediately, Entei lands in front of our heroes. Well, that was weirdly easy. Our heroes are confused about why Entei looks so different to normal Enteis, and Terapagos is really excited and resonates with Entei, proving that it is Lucius's Entei. And then Lucius's other Pokemon reunite with Entei too, and man, it's really so sweet to see them all together again at long last. Liko tells Gouging Fire about their dream to reach Rakua and Lucius all together, but then Gouging Fire suddenly steals Liko's other ancient Pokeballs and hides them in its fur. It challenges all of them to take the Pokeballs back. Basically, Entei wants them to prove their strength and their resolve before it decides to join them. The battle begins with Dot talking about type effectiveness against a Fire-type Entei, so Roy's Crocodile tries Stomping Tantrum and Dot's Quaxwell tries a Liquidation, but Entei uses Burning Bulwark. I may have butchered that pronunciation, dude. I've never heard of the word bulwark. Anyway, this gives Entei a fiery aura protecting it from attacks and burning anyone who gets close. Freed then gives Dot a burn heal, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this might be the first ever time that a burn heal has been used in the anime. That's so awesome, dude, as if it took this long. Dot comes up with a great strategy to bait out Entei's Burning Bulwark and buy time, and then Captain Pikachu should strike when the effect wears off. Our heroes attack and Entei uses it again. They then begin dodging around Entei to buy time, and as soon as the effect wears off, as soon as the fiery protective aura fades, Captain Pikachu then immediately hits Entei in the face with a Thunder Punch. But Entei shakes it off effortlessly and hits Cap hard with a Dragon Pulse. Entei using a Dragon-type move shocks everyone, and they come to the conclusion that Entei could be a Paradox Pokemon, not a regular Entei. And since Paradox Pokemon research is pretty new, Paradox Entei was probably known as a regular Entei 100 years ago, hence why Ristal called it that, and hence why the flashbacks showed regular Entei instead of Gouging Fire. So yeah, this means my theory video from the other week was totally wrong, but hey, I still had fun discussing alternate ideas, you know? I don't really care about being right or wrong, I just like talking about this stuff, you know? Speculating on all the different possible paths the writers could take. So Dot theorizes that Paradox Entei is a Fire Dragon type, while Entei and Pikachu continue sparring, exchanging blows. But every attack is shrugged off by Entei effortlessly. What a powerful Pokemon, dude. Dot comes up with another strategy, making Quaxwell dive into a lake nearby, and then using Air Cutter over and over, combining the Air Cutters with water for extra damage. This actually hurts Gouging Fire for a brief period, but then Gouging Fire uses Burning Bulwark again. Our heroes continue battling Paradox Entei, and then just as its fiery protective aura fades, Crocodile unleashes a double power and super effective Stomping Tantrum, because his previous attempt failed, so the power doubles, just like what happened against Geeta. This attack hits Gouging Fire incredibly hard, but then Gouging Fire suddenly clears the sky with Dragon Pulse, and the harsh sunlight activates its photosynthesis ability, which basically boosts its power greatly. As Entei unleashes an unbelievable amount of energy, Briar finds it in the Scarlet Book finally, revealing to them all that its name is Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire seemingly uses the move Raging Fury and absolutely destroys Florigato, Quaxwell and Crocodile, and even Captain Pikachu is about to be defeated until Crocodile musters up the power to save him with Flame Charge. Can I just say it made me so unbelievably happy to see Crocodile saving Cap from Gouging Fire here, because if you remember earlier in the series, Cap saved Fuecoco from Galarian Moltres. What a perfect full circle moment showing just how far Crocodile has grown. Despite our heroes struggling, Liko, Roy and Dot are still so excited and having so much fun. It's so amazing seeing them in this light when you compare them to how they were at the very beginning of the series. But then Entei's Raging Fury wears off and it suddenly becomes confused, cause that's how the move works. Dot then suggests they should strike when Entei is confused, and Freed, Liko and Roy are so confident in Dot that they fully trust her strategy. You can see just how much this means to Dot, man, it was so touching. Can I just say quickly, I'm so happy that Dot is getting the time to shine in this battle. As you've seen so far, and as you will see for the rest of the battle, all of the strategies and theorizing and move ideas have been down to Dot. She's carrying this battle from their side. It's awesome that she's playing such a big part in it, you know? So our heroes follow Dot's strategy, and Entei uses Raging Fury, while Liko, Roy and Dot terrestrialize their Pokemon. Terra, Florigato, Quaxwell and Crocalor begin dashing all around Entei, distracting it and overwhelming it by attacking from all angles and bouncing around everywhere and not giving it a break. And Entei is visibly getting more and more overwhelmed and basically raging. It just can't keep up with everything around it. Then, when Entei is in the peak of its confusion, Dot's Quaxwell lures it into the lake. The water extinguishes Entei's fiery aura and causes steam all around it, confusing it even more. And then Captain Pikachu launches from a cliff, charging up all of his power, and he hits Gouging Fire unbelievably hard with Thunder Punch. This electrocutes its entire body, and all of the water around it too do an unbelievable damage. This also causes the ancient Pokeballs to fly from Gouging Fire's fur, and Florigato catches them mid-air with her yo-yo. Dot reveals them to Gouging Fire, exclaiming that they won and that they beat Gouging Fire's challenge. Gouging Fire looks at them, seemingly impressed, and then it combines its power with Terrapagos, showing them a vision from 100 years ago. The vision is Lucius in Area 0 riding Gouging Fire. Lucius then tells Ristal how he's bonded with Gouging Fire, and they're excited to continue searching for the Rakua Paradise. Gouging Fire then accepts Liko as a trainer and enters the ancient Pokeball. Let's go, dude, they actually managed it, I'm so proud of them. Roy then holds up his ancient Pokeball in the air, declaring in determination that that means all that's left is the shiny Rayquaza that he dreams of catching. Then suddenly all the hero Pokemon come together and combine their powers. They summon shiny Rayquaza in the sky above, and everyone is absolutely stunned as Rayquaza stares them down. And of course, that's where the episode ended. I'm gonna really quickly say my thoughts on the episode before we then move on to the huge news that I mentioned earlier. The huge news that I'm sure you're all waiting for. As you all just witnessed, this episode was incredible. The animation and music were absolutely stunning, so beautiful and impressive. The battle itself was phenomenal, probably one of the best hero battles of the whole series. But my favourite part is that Gouging Fire truly felt like a monster, dude. It was unstoppable. The way it rampaged around felt monstrous and powerful and terrifying. It was like fighting a grizzly bear or something, I swear. Our heroes really couldn't beat it in a straight up battle, but through Dot's incredible strategies, they managed to put in enough work to win the challenge. So awesome, dude. And then Rayquaza appearing at the end was so hype. I theorized this would happen in a video a few days ago, and I can't wait to see how our heroes finally face Rayquaza next week. If today was Dot's episode, which it definitely was, then I truly hope that next week is Roy's episode. Rayquaza is Roy's dream at the end of the day. It's what Roy's entire journey has been building up towards. So I think that Roy should get the most emotional focus and the most battle focus in the next episode. I hope he's not completely overshadowed, you know? Bonus points if Crocalor evolves too. I can't think of a better time for Crocalor to evolve than to evolve to make Roy's dream come true. So now, onto the massive news. The news that has people theorizing that we're already nearly at the end of Pokemon Horizons. As we all know, episode 82 of Horizons is about our heroes versus Rayquaza, and then episode 84 is titled Where Heaven and Earth Meet. I theorized earlier in the week in a video that this would be all about Lucius's Rayquaza versus Gibeon's Zygarde in Area 0, but the episode description was just revealed and it seems that my wacky prediction was incorrect. Our heroes and Rayquaza will seemingly still be battling the Explorers and Zygarde like I theorized, but instead that'll be happening a few episodes later than I predicted. So the description of episode 84 is as follows. Rayquaza guides Liko and the others to a mountain towering high into the heavens. They begin asking around for information on Rakua in Kamuri Town, a town located at the foot of the mountain, but then they meet a young boy named Yuha who insists they need to get out of the town immediately. As the group soon learns, the local legend has it that disaster will strike when the Black Rayquaza appears. So as you can see, this episode description basically confirms that in episode 82, our heroes put up a good enough fight versus Rayquaza for Rayquaza to then guide them somewhere in the mountains. And then the most shocking, insane thing ever is Pokemon Horizons episode 85. 5 that was also just revealed. It airs on February the 21st, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's titled Arrival, the Paradise of Rakua. Dude, we are already at the Rakua Paradise? Our heroes are already going there? Wow, so after our heroes win over Rayquaza in the next episode, Rayquaza guides them right to Rakua immediately. I'm stunned, man. I really thought we'd get like an entire arc about our heroes journeying to Rakua and trying to find it. I didn't realize we'd be there within like 2 or 3 episodes. But honestly, I kind of like this, dude. I'd rather spend more time in Rakua handling all the big story stuff, rather than spending ages dilly-dallying around before our heroes get there. And obviously the Rakua Paradise is the main goal of our heroes. Getting to Rakua and Lucius is what the entire series has been building up towards. So now everyone's theorizing online that this could mean that Pokemon Horizons is gonna end way sooner than we expect. Since if we're already arriving at Rakua, then how on earth is there gonna be another 60 plus episodes in Horizons? This is the end goal of our heroes after all, so could this be the end of Horizons? But then on the other hand, some folks are theorizing that maybe the Rakua storyline with Lucius will end in the next few months, and that this is the end of that storyline, but then Horizons will still continue in the future, focusing on something completely different, like the Blueberry Academy or Legend ZA, but I just really don't think that's the case, dude. It seems really silly to me for the writers to set up a storyline for 2 years, just to then end it early to focus on other stuff. I really don't think that's gonna happen. Personally, I think we still have at the very least another year of the Lucius storyline in Pokemon Horizons. I do not think this is the end, and that's because I really don't think this trip to Rakua will go as smoothly as our heroes expect. Hear me out, okay? Episode 86 of Pokemon Horizons, airing on February the 28th, just had its title revealed too. I know, another one. And it's titled The Rising Voltaclers vs. the Explorers. And now do you see what I mean? Clearly Coral and Sidian reported to Gibeon about what happened in Area 0, that our heroes reunited all the 6 hero Pokemon and are travelling to Rakua, and so the explorers must have followed our heroes all the way to the Rakua Paradise secretly. And I think this is where the absolute war will unfold, in Rakua. I think our heroes will arrive at the Rakua Paradise, but then before they can do anything there, I think the explorers will show up and attack our heroes unexpectedly. And then this will be Lucius's Rayquaza versus Gibeon's Zygarde, like I theorized about, and our heroes and the Rising Voltaclers will have an all-out war against the explorers. I think Gibeon will reveal himself for the first time, and then my theory is that shockingly the explorers will win this big all-out battle. I think the explorers, maybe by using the power of Rakurium and making their Pokemon rampage, including Zygarde, will end up beating the Rising Voltaclers. I think the explorers will win the Rakua Paradise, and our heroes will have to flee for their lives before they can reach Lucius. That's why I think we're getting to Rakua already. This is not the final endgame Rakua arrival that everyone thinks it is. I think it's the first time our heroes will go to Rakua, but not the last time. My theory is that after losing Rakua to the explorers at the end of this arc, our heroes will feel defeated and deflated like they failed. After all, thanks to them, Gibeon now has control of Rakua and can use it against the world, so Lucius's sacrifice 100 years ago to stop Gibeon will have been for nothing. But then I think the next arc will be fully focused on our heroes getting back up on their feet, finding their motivation again, and the main storyline will be our heroes training up to become strong enough to win back the Rakua Paradise. They'll train to become powerful enough to go to Rakua again and defeat the explorers and reach Lucius at long last. Maybe the next arc will take a more traditional approach like Ash's anime did. It could be way more focused on our heroes training their Pokemon, catching full teams of Pokemon at long last, evolving their Pokemon, and battling trainers all around the world to get stronger. And then to coincide with Legend ZA releasing, maybe some of this will take place in Kalos. Maybe our heroes will get Pokemon they can Mega Evolve too. And then by the end of the next arc, once our heroes are way stronger and have full teams, maybe then the final arc of Horizons at the end of 2025 or maybe early 2026, maybe that will be our heroes returning to Rakua for the big final showdown against the explorers. That will be when they save Rakua from Gibeon, finishing what Lucius started 100 years ago. And then Horizons could end with our heroes winning and reaching Lucius. So yeah, I really don't think this trip to Rakua in a few weeks is going to be the big final one. I think our heroes will lose, and then we'll get a training arc for them to get stronger, and then they'll return to Rakua with vengeance and defeat Gibeon and the explorers at long last. So yeah, overall, these new episode titles are bonkers, man. I can't believe we're already reaching Rakua and having the big all-out war between the Rising Volt Tacklers and Explorers, but I just really don't buy into what a lot of people are saying about this being the end of Horizons, or the end of the Lucius storyline, you know? It's all been set up too much for it to end already, you know? That would be way too rushed. Our heroes have had a pretty smooth journey so far, so I think they really need a huge road bump to stop them in their tracks, to force them to get full teams and become even stronger. And yeah, the Explorers defeating them and taking control of Rakua, leading to our heroes having to flee and get stronger in the future, that really just feels perfect to me, man. I pray my predictions are correct. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode below, and also let me know what you think about the new episode titles and our heroes reaching Rakua already. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe button and notification bell if you enjoyed and want to see more content like this. Join our Discord server using the link in the description if you want to talk to other fans. And on that note, after such a very long video, thank you all so much for watching and best wishes until we meet again.